If there's one thing humans across the globe have always agreed on, besides the joy of sitting down to eat, it's that letting food sit around just a little longer might make it even better. Welcome to the wonderfully fizzy, tangy, and microbially enhanced world of fermented foods. Whether it's Japanese miso, Korean kimchi, Greek yogurt, or that mysterious jar of sauerkraut your aunt insists is medicine, these fermented staples may just be one of the planet's tastiest longevity secrets. Across diverse cultures known for their healthy aging populations, fermented foods are more than culinary quirks, they're consistent dietary themes. While the Mediterranean diet gets attention for its olive oil and fish, the Greeks have been spooning yogurt for centuries. The Nordic diet highlights root vegetables and whole grains, but don't forget the pickled herring. And Japan? Home to natto, miso, and sukmono, Japan's fermentation game is basically a microbial Michelin star. These traditions aren't just tasty, they're quietly working microbial magic that modern science is only beginning to decode. At the heart of the fermented food, longevity connection lies a fascinating biological love story between your gut and trillions of tiny tenants, your microbiota. Fermented foods are some of the few edible items that actively bring their own party guests, delivering beneficial bacteria directly to the gut. These microbes help reinforce the diversity of your microbiome, which has been strongly linked to healthier aging, better metabolic control, lower inflammation, and, yes, a more resilient brain. Inflammation, particularly the low-grade kind that increases with age, often called inflammaging, has become public enemy number one in the science of longevity. It quietly contributes to everything from heart disease to dementia, and unfortunately, it tends to rise as microbial diversity falls. But fermented foods? They may help break that cycle. Studies show that regular consumption of fermented products like yogurt, kefir, miso, and kimchi can modulate inflammatory markers, enhance gut barrier integrity, and support immune balance. Basically, they help keep your gut calm and collected so the rest of your body doesn't fly off the handle. One of the most intriguing insights from recent population studies is that this isn't about one superfood, it's about patterns. In Japan, centenarians in Okinawa often eat miso soup daily, not just for its savory comfort, but likely also for its fermented soybean benefits. In Korea, where kimchi is consumed at nearly every meal, researchers have found associations between fermented vegetable intake and lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker. Nordic populations embracing pickled fish and cultured dairy have also shown positive associations with metabolic health and microbial diversity. It's not flashy. It's not biotech. It's sour milk and smelly cabbage. And somehow it works. Of course, not all fermented foods are created equal. Some modern supermarket versions are more pasteurized than probiotic, more salty than symbiotic. Traditional fermentation methods, those that allow wild cultures to flourish and thrive, tend to offer the richest microbial profiles. That's why Grandma's crock of pickles might beat the jar you grabbed from aisle 7. And that's also why we see stronger effects in studies focused on homemade or minimally processed ferments as opposed to ultra-commercial versions. So, what happens when fermented foods are integrated into modern aging strategies? In one promising trial, older adults who added more fermented foods to their diets over a 10-week period showed significant increases in microbiome diversity and reductions in inflammatory cytokines. Even more encouragingly, this wasn't in some perfectly controlled lab, it was in real people living real lives, the kind who occasionally forget where they put their glasses. Adding sauerkraut or kombucha didn't just spice up their meals, it changed their biology. And let's not forget the culinary upside. Fermented foods are sour, funky, salty, spicy, creamy, crunchy, and complex. They're the jazz musicians of the food world, improvisational, surprising, and a little weird in all the right ways. They turn plain rice into sushi, cabbage into a national treasure, and milk into something vaguely magical. If there's a more joyful way to age well, it's probably still fermenting. So while scientists continue to untangle the elegant connections between gut microbes, inflammation, and disease prevention, your path to a longer, more vibrant life might already be in your fridge, assuming that jar of kimchi hasn't exploded. The bottom line? If you're looking to age gracefully, live vibrantly, and keep your gut biome throwing the right kind of party, it might be time to make room for a little more funk on your fork.